My name is Mia. I am 10 years old. And my daddy is the sweetest daddy in the whole world. I love him so much. I love him more than the sky, more than chocolate, more than anything in the world. Daddy is handsome. Everyone says he is handsome. His hair is always neat. His eyes shine when he smiles. And when he laughs, I feel warm inside. Sometimes I tell my friends, my daddy is the most handsome man in the world. And they all nod. They cannot see him the way I see him. Daddy is clever. He can fix anything. He can fix the broken door, the broken chair, or even the old radio that never works. Sometimes I watch him work and think he must be a magician. He can make anything work again. He knows so much. He can answer all my questions. Daddy is kind, so kind. He never yells at me. Even when I make mistakes, he smiles and says, "It's okay, Mia. Everyone makes mistakes." He hugs me when I am sad and whispers, "Everything will be fine." I feel safe when he is near. I feel like nothing bad can ever happen. I think he is my Superman. Yes, my very own Superman. He can save me from monsters, from the dark, from everything. I love him more than I love my favorite stuffed bear. Daddy wants me to do well at school. He always says, "Mia, you are smart. You can be anything you want if you study hard." And he helps me with my homework. Even when he is tired, he sits with me. He explains things slowly. He never rushes me. I know I am lucky to have him. Daddy is just great. He makes life fun. He plays with me in the park. He buys me ice cream when we walk home. He tells me stories before bedtime, the kind of stories that make me feel like I can fly. I want to be like him when I grow up. I want to be kind, clever, and strong, just like Daddy. But there is something I do not understand fully yet. Daddy. He lies. I don't mean little lies, like when someone says, "I'm on my way," and they are not. No. Daddy lies to protect me. But sometimes his lies are bigger than I can understand. He lies about having a job. I always ask him what he does at work. "I have a very important job," he says, smiling, but he never shows me. I never see him leave early in the morning, and I never see him come back with papers or a uniform. He just disappears sometimes and comes back late at night. He never tells me what he does exactly, but he says, "I am helping people, Mia." That is all that matters. He lies about having money. Sometimes we do not have enough food. I see the cupboards almost empty. I see the small coins in his pocket. But when I ask him, he says, "Mia, we have everything we need. Don't worry about money. It's fine." He smiles and I smile too, even when my tummy hurts a little from hunger. He lies that he is not tired. After a long day, I see him sit in the chair, his head down, his shoulders shaking. But when I say, "Daddy, are you tired?" he smiles and says, "No, I'm not tired. I'm fine. Let's play a game." And he plays with me. Even though he looks so weak, he acts like a superhero just for me. He lies that he is not hungry. I can see it in his eyes sometimes when he eats slowly, almost leaving food on his plate. But he always tells me, "Mia, eat your food first. I'm not hungry." And I eat happily, never thinking he is putting my needs first all the time. He lies that we have everything. Sometimes I wish for new shoes or a new dress. Daddy tells me, "We have everything we need, Mia. Don't worry." He never complains. He never says no. But I sometimes see him looking at the old shoes in his hands or at the broken door we cannot fix yet, and I feel a little sad. But I do not ask any more. I trust him. He lies about his happiness. I see him smiling, and I think he is happy. But at night, when I sleep, I sometimes hear him whisper in the dark, "I wish I could do more." Or I hear the small sound of him crying quietly in the kitchen. I know he does not want me to see. I know he does not want me to be sad. He lies. Because of me. I think he hides the truth to protect me, to make me feel safe, to make me feel loved. But sometimes I wish I could help him. Sometimes I wish I knew how to make things easier for him. One day I asked him, "Daddy, why do you look so tired?" He smiled and ruffled my hair. "I'm not tired, Mia. I promise. Let's go outside and play." I nodded, but I could see it. I could see the small lines on his face, the tired look in his eyes, the slow steps. I did not say anything. I wanted him to be happy. I wanted him to be my Superman. Daddy has a little desk in the corner of our small apartment. It is messy. There are papers and pens everywhere. Sometimes I watch him sitting there late at night, writing something. I never ask what it is. I do not want to break the magic of Daddy. Sometimes I think about our neighbors. They say funny things about our family. I hear them whisper, "Poor girl, her daddy must be struggling." But when I look at Daddy, I see a hero. I do not see struggling. I see strength. I see courage. I see love. Daddy tells me stories about the world. He tells me that one day we can travel and see mountains, rivers, and cities. He tells me that I can do anything I want if I try. I believe him. I trust him. I want to grow up strong, just like him. But the lies, the small lies, they grow inside me like shadows. I do not understand them fully yet. I only know that something is hidden. I only know that Daddy works hard for me in ways I cannot see, and that he hides pain and worry so I can smile. Every night I hug him and whisper, "I love you, Daddy." He whispers back, "I love you too, Mia, more than anything." I think I understand a little now. Daddy lies not because he wants to trick me. He lies because he wants me to believe in happiness. He lies because he wants me to feel safe. He lies because he loves me more than anything in the world. But one day, I will see the truth. I will see the lies behind the smile. I will see the tired eyes. I will see the hunger he hides. And I will wish I could do something. For now, I watch him. I listen to his stories. I laugh at his jokes. I play games. I eat ice cream. I hug him tightly. Because my daddy is my Superman. And even if he lies, I love him. Even if the world does not understand him, I do. Even if he hides pain, I see his heart. Even if he is not perfect, he is perfect to me. I thought I knew everything about my daddy. I thought he was always happy, always strong, always smiling. But sometimes I started to see little cracks. It began one morning when we had almost no food. I had woken up early, as usual, to make breakfast. I looked in the cupboards and counted the little rice we had. Only a few small pieces of bread were left. My heart sank a little. Daddy came into the kitchen with his usual big smile. "Good morning, Mia. Did you sleep well?" I nodded, but my stomach hurt. I did not say anything. I thought he would be upset if I told him. "Don't worry, Mia," he said, sitting down. "We have enough for today. You just eat." He poured the small amount of rice into our bowls and added a little water. I ate quickly because I did not want him to feel bad. But I could see his plate. He did not touch it. He smiled at me and said, "I am not hungry. You eat first." I tried to smile back, but something felt different that morning. After school, I watched Daddy leave the apartment. He wore his old jacket and carried a small bag. I wondered where he was going. Usually, he disappeared for hours and returned late. I asked him once, but he just laughed and said, "I have an important job, Mia. Don't worry about it." I did not know what to think. I tried to believe him, but that morning, I felt a little fear. What if he was lying about everything? The next day, I saw him counting coins on the small kitchen table. He did not notice I was watching. He counted slowly, carefully, like each coin mattered a lot. Then he put some coins in his pocket and some back in the jar. I wondered why. I wondered if he was worried about money. I wanted to ask, but I was scared. I did not want to make him sad. Sometimes I would see him sitting quietly in the living room, staring at nothing. His hands would shake a little. His eyes looked tired. I wanted to go to him and hug him, but I was not sure if I could. I did not understand fully. One evening, after dinner, I asked softly, "Daddy, are you tired?" He smiled, just like always. "No, Mia, I am not tired. Let's read a story before bed." But I saw it. I saw the little pause before he smiled. I saw his shoulders slump for a moment. I saw the lines on his face that were not there before. My heart ached. I began to notice other things. Sometimes, Daddy would whisper on the phone late at night. I could not hear everything, but I could hear words like rent, late, and small. I tried not to listen, but I could not help it. He never shouted. He never argued. He just whispered quietly, so I would not hear. I began to ask questions to myself. Why does Daddy lie? Why does he smile when he is tired? Why does he say we have everything when we almost do not? One rainy afternoon, I saw him leave with a bag. It was heavy. I asked him where he was going. "Just for a little work, Mia. Nothing important," he said, smiling. I watched him walk in the rain, his jacket thin, his shoes wet. I wanted to run to him, to say, "Don't go, stay home." But I did not. He was my Superman. He could handle everything. When he came back hours later, his coat was wet, his shoes muddy. I noticed his hands were red and cracked. I wanted to cry, but he smiled. "Look, Mia, I brought some bread for us," he said, holding a small paper bag. It was empty except for 2 small pieces of bread. He smiled. "Enough for now." I ate my bread quietly. I watched him eat nothing. I felt something inside me break. I did not know the word for it. Sadness, fear, anger. I only knew I wanted to help him. I wanted to make him eat. I wanted to make him sleep. I wanted to fix everything. But I was only 10. I could not. That night, I stayed awake longer than usual. I listened to Daddy in the living room. He sat at the desk, writing something. I could hear the scratching of his pen. Sometimes he would pause and rub his eyes. I wanted to go to him to say, "Daddy, I love you. Don't be sad." But I did not. I stayed in bed, feeling helpless. The next morning, I tried to be cheerful. I made pancakes for breakfast, even though we had very little sugar. Daddy smiled at me. He hugged me tightly. "Mia, you are the best daughter in the world. Thank you." I wanted to tell him I saw the truth. I wanted to tell him I knew he was tired and hungry. But I could not. His smile was too strong. His love was too big. Days passed. I began to notice the small lies more often. When Daddy said we had enough money, I saw the empty wallet. When Daddy said he was not hungry, I saw him take only tiny bites. When Daddy said he was happy, I saw his eyes in the quiet moments when no one was looking. I began to write small notes in my notebook. Daddy works hard. Daddy is tired. Daddy is hungry. Daddy is sad. I could not tell anyone. I did not want anyone to pity him. I did not want anyone to make him feel weak. He was my Superman. He could not be weak. One Saturday, I decided to follow him. I stayed behind a corner when he left the apartment. He walked to a small street, then into a tiny workshop. Inside, he picked up heavy tools. I watched from the window. His back was bent. His hands were red and rough. He worked without a break. Sweat ran down his face. His coat was torn, his shoes worn. I felt a shock in my heart. Daddy, my Superman, was human. He was real. He was tired. He was hungry. And all this time, he lied to protect me. I wanted to run inside and hug him. I wanted to tell him, "It's okay, Daddy, you can rest." But I could not. I stayed hidden. I watched him work silently until evening. When he came home, he carried a small bag. Inside, there were some vegetables and rice. He smiled and said, "See, Mia, we have enough for dinner." I did not eat. I could not. I just hugged him tightly. That night, I whispered to my stuffed bear, "Daddy lies because he loves me. He works too hard. He is tired and hungry, and he hides it all. I must help him somehow." I did not know how. I was only 10, but I wanted to try. I wanted to protect him the way he protected me. I began to notice other things. When Daddy talked about the future, he sounded happy. But I could hear the worry in his voice sometimes. When he said, "One day, Mia, we will have a nice home," I heard a small pause. I saw the small papers he hid in the desk. Bills, receipts, money we did not have. I understood a little now. Daddy's lies were not bad. They were love. He hid pain and struggle so I could believe in happiness. But I also saw how heavy it was for him, how tired he was, how lonely. I wanted to fix it. I wanted to do something, anything, to make his life easier. For the first time, I felt the weight of being 10 years old. I felt the sadness of the world. I felt the fear that one day my Superman might fall. But I also felt love, stronger than ever. I whispered to the night, "I will help you, Daddy. I will make things better, I promise." And I meant it. I could not stop thinking about Daddy. Every day, I saw him work so hard, so quietly, and I felt a weight on my chest. I wanted to help him. I wanted to take some of his pain away. I wanted to do something. One morning, I woke up early before school. I quietly went into the kitchen. The small cupboard was empty again. I found only one piece of bread and a little jam. I looked at it and thought, "This is not enough. Daddy should eat too." I decided to make breakfast for him. I used what little we had. I boiled the water carefully, toasted the bread slowly, and spread the jam. It was small, but I wanted him to eat something warm. When he came to the kitchen, he smiled. "Good morning, Mia. What is this?" "It's breakfast, Daddy. You eat first," I said, trying to hide my nervousness. He sat down, surprised, and tasted the bread. His eyes widened a little. Then he smiled, as always. "Thank you, Mia. This is very good." I smiled, but inside, my heart hurt. I wanted him to know I saw him. I wanted him to know I understood. At school that day, I could not concentrate. I kept thinking about Daddy. I thought about how hard he worked, how little he slept, how hungry he must be sometimes. I thought about how he lied to protect me. After school, I went to the small corner shop near our apartment. I wanted to buy some vegetables with the few coins I had saved from my allowance. I bought a small cabbage, some carrots, and a little rice. It was not much, but I thought it might help for dinner. When I gave it to Daddy, he looked at me silently. Then his eyes filled with tears. "Mia, you bought this for me?" I nodded. "I want to help, Daddy. I can do something. I can cook. I can help." He shook his head slowly. No, Mia. You are a child. You must study. You must not worry about me. I want to worry, I said softly. I want to help. I want to see you eat. I want to see you happy. He hugged me tightly. I could feel the strength in his arms, but I also felt something else, something I had never felt before. Sadness, exhaustion, loneliness. That night, after dinner, I watched him clean the small apartment. I tried to help, but he told me to go to my room. Mia, you need your rest. I will do this. I went to my room, but I could not sleep. I listened to him moving in the living room. I could hear the small creak of the chair, the faint scratching of the pen on paper. He was working again, quietly, alone. I thought about how many nights he must have done this, just so I could be safe and happy. I thought about the lies he told me, the lies he smiled through, the lies that hid hunger and tiredness. The next morning, I decided to ask a question I had never asked before. Daddy, do you have enough money? I asked while he was making breakfast. He looked at me, startled. Enough money? Yes, Mia. Don't worry about money. We are fine. But I could see it. The hesitation, the pause, the shadow in his eyes. I knew he was lying again. I wanted to cry, but I held it in. I asked another question. Daddy, are you hungry? He smiled. No, Mia, I am not hungry. Eat your breakfast. But again, I saw the truth. He was hungry. He had always been hungry, and he did not want me to feel it. That day, I went to school, but my mind was not on lessons. I drew pictures in my notebook. I drew Daddy working, Daddy cooking, Daddy hiding pain behind a smile. I drew myself watching him, wanting to help, wanting to fix everything. When I came home, I decided to try cooking dinner myself. I used the little vegetables we had, added some rice, and tried to make something warm. It smelled small and simple, but I hoped it would help. Daddy came home, and I ran to him. I made dinner, Daddy. He laughed softly. Mia, you cooked? That is very brave. Thank you, my little chef. He tasted a small spoon. Then he smiled, but I saw tears in his eyes. You are so grown up, Mia. I am proud of you. I wanted to tell him everything. I wanted to tell him I knew he was tired. I wanted to tell him I knew he was hungry. I wanted to tell him I knew about all the lies he told for me. But I could not. I only hugged him. I felt his heart beating fast. I felt the warmth of his love. I felt the weight of his sacrifices. Days passed like this. I tried to help him every way I could. I cleaned, cooked, and saved small coins from my allowance. But the truth was bigger than I could fix. One evening, I saw him crying softly in the living room. I had never seen him cry before. I tiptoed closer. Daddy, what is wrong? I whispered. He looked at me, his eyes red and wet. Mia, nothing, it's nothing. But I knew it was not nothing. I sat beside him. I held his hand. I know, Daddy. I know you work so hard. I know you are hungry sometimes. I know you are tired. It's okay. You don't have to hide it from me. He shook his head slowly. No, Mia. You must not worry. I lie because I love you. I lie so you can smile. I lie because I want you to be happy. I hugged him tightly. But Daddy, I want you to be happy too. You don't have to hide it. You can let me help. I am your little girl, and I can help you. He stayed silent for a long time. Then he whispered, I don't know how to let you help. I want to protect you. I want you to believe in happiness. But I am tired. I am hungry. I am scared sometimes. I could not speak. My small hands held his, and I felt a heavy sadness, a sadness that filled the room. I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream. I wanted to take all his pain away. For the first time, I realized that Daddy was human. My Superman was not perfect. My hero was tired and lonely. And all these years, he had carried the weight of the world for me. I promised silently to myself, I will help him. I will make things better. I will take care of him, just like he takes care of me. I will not let him carry this alone. That night, I slept holding my stuffed bear, thinking of Daddy. I thought of all the lies, all the hidden struggles, all the silent sacrifices. I thought of the small rice, the tiny coins, the cracked hands, and I thought of love. The love that hides pain to protect someone else. The love that stays strong even when everything is hard. I knew that our life would not be easy. I knew there would be more lies, more hidden pain, more struggles. But I also knew something very important. Daddy was my hero, my Superman. And now I would try to be his little helper. I would try to make him smile in return. I would try to carry some of his weight, even if I was only 10 years old. I understood something I had never understood before. Love is not only about smiles and stories. Love is also about sacrifice, about hiding tears, about carrying the pain of someone else quietly and fully. I whispered in the dark, I love you, Daddy. I will help you. Always. Days passed after I saw Daddy cry. I could not stop thinking about it. I tried to help him every day, but I realized something. No matter what I did, the problems did not go away. I was small. I was 10. I could not fix everything. One afternoon, I returned from school earlier than usual. I wanted to surprise Daddy. I wanted to clean the apartment before he came back. I wanted him to see that I was trying, that I loved him, that I cared. When I opened the door, I froze. Daddy was sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall. His head was in his hands. The small bag of groceries he had bought yesterday was empty, the vegetables and rice scattered on the floor. He looked smaller than usual, older, tired in a way that made my heart ache. I ran to him. Daddy, are you okay? He looked up, and for a moment, he tried to smile, but it was weak. His eyes were red. His hands shook. Mia, it's nothing. Don't worry. I did not believe him. My small hands held his face, and I looked into his eyes. Daddy, I know it's not nothing. I know you are tired. I know you are hungry. I know you are scared. Please, tell me the truth. He sighed, a long, heavy sound. I had never heard it before. It was full of pain, full of fear, full of weight I could not carry. I do not want you to worry, Mia, he said softly. I lie because I love you. I hide the truth because I do not want you to be afraid. But sometimes it is too much. Sometimes I feel like I cannot do this anymore. I felt my stomach drop. I could not believe what I was hearing. My Superman, my hero, my daddy, was scared, was afraid, could not carry the world alone. Daddy, I can help, I said softly. I can do something. You don't have to do everything by yourself. He shook his head slowly. No, Mia, you are a child. You must not worry about me. I carry this burden because I love you. I want you to have a better life. But I can help, I cried. I can do things. I can save coins. I can cook. I can clean. I can... He put his hands on my shoulders. Mia, it is not about chores. It is about life. Life is hard, and I try to make it better for you. But some things I cannot fix. Some things are too heavy for even me. I did not know what to say. My chest felt tight. My eyes were wet. I felt the weight of his lies, the weight of his struggle, the weight of the life we lived together. That night, I could not sleep. I thought about all the times I had seen him smile through hunger, all the times I had seen him hide his tiredness, all the times I had believed that everything was fine. Everything was not fine. The next day, I decided I could not wait anymore. I had to know more. I had to see what he was carrying. I had to understand fully. I followed him again after school. I hid behind the corner, watching as he walked slowly to the small workshop. This time, I did not hide completely. I wanted to see the tools he used, the money he earned, the effort he put into keeping us alive. Inside the workshop, he lifted heavy boxes, moved furniture, fixed broken chairs and tables. His back ached. His hands were red and rough. Sweat ran down his face. He wiped it with the sleeve of his jacket. I could see the exhaustion written on every muscle of his body. I wanted to cry. I wanted to run to him and say, "Stop! You do not have to do this alone." But I stayed quiet. I did not want to scare him. Later, I saw him sit on the floor with his head down. I heard him whisper softly, "I just want to give her everything. I just want her to be happy." I realized then that he had been hiding more than hunger and tiredness. He had been hiding fear, worry, and even sadness. Every lie he told me was to make me feel safe. Every lie was to protect me from the truth of our life. I went home that evening with a heavy heart. I did not eat dinner. I sat in my room and cried silently. I realized something I had never understood before. Daddy's love was the strongest love in the world, but it also came with pain, and I had to help him carry it. The next morning, I had an idea. I took my small notebook and began to write a plan. I wrote, 1. Cook dinner every day. 2. Save coins from allowance. 3. Help clean the apartment. 4. Try to find small jobs I can do. 5. Make Daddy rest when he is tired. It was a small plan, but it made me feel like I could do something. I showed it to him. "Daddy, I made a plan. I want to help. Can I?" He looked at me, surprised. Then he smiled, a small smile. "Mia, you are so brave. I do not know how to say thank you." "I just want you to be happy," I said softly. For the next days, I worked hard. I cooked, cleaned, and tried to save coins. I even carried some groceries by myself. Daddy noticed, and sometimes he smiled quietly. Other times, he looked worried that I was doing too much. But I felt proud. I felt like I was finally doing something to carry part of his burden. I felt like I was helping my Superman. Then one evening, something happened that shook me. Daddy came home late. His coat was wet, his shoes torn, and his hands were bleeding slightly from the tools he used. I gasped. "Daddy, are you okay?" I cried. He smiled weakly. "I'm fine, Mia. Really, don't worry." I could not believe him. I saw the blood. I saw the torn coat. I saw the tiredness in his eyes. I ran to him and held his hands. "Stop, Daddy, stop! You don't have to do this alone. I can help. I will help." He looked at me silently for a long moment. Then he hugged me tightly. "Mia, you are my little angel. You are so strong, even though you are small. I don't know what to do without you." I cried into his chest. I felt his heartbeat. I felt his pain. I felt the love that hid behind every lie. I realized then something very important. Love is not just smiles and stories. Love is also sacrifice. Love is also hiding pain to protect someone else. Love is also crying quietly in the dark when no one is looking. And I decided something. I would not let him carry it alone anymore. I would do everything I could. I would take care of him, like he took care of me. I would work, save, cook, clean, and hug him when he was tired. I would be his little helper. I would share the weight of life. That night, I held my stuffed bear and whispered, "I love you, Daddy. I will carry part of your burden. I will help you. Always." And I meant it. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, things began to change. Not because the world became easier, but because Daddy and I became stronger together. I continued helping him. I cooked, cleaned, and saved coins. I tried to make small things brighter. Even the little meals felt like celebrations when we ate together. We laughed more than we cried, but I knew the truth. Daddy's struggles were still there. The tiredness, the hunger, the worry. They had not gone away. One evening, Daddy came home looking unusually quiet. I noticed the lines on his face were deeper. His coat was wet from the rain. His hands trembled slightly. I felt a pang of fear in my chest. "Daddy, are you okay?" I asked softly. He smiled weakly. Yes, Mia, I'm fine. Don't worry." But I could see it. The fatigue in his eyes, the ache in his back, the weight he carried. I wanted to cry, but I held back. I knew I had to be strong. I had to show him that he was not alone anymore. That night, I made him sit while I served dinner. I handed him the plate carefully. "Eat, Daddy. I want you to rest." He shook his head. "No, Mia, I can't. I need to work a little." "No," I said firmly, looking him in the eyes. "You have worked enough. You always do everything for me. Now it's my turn." For the first time, he said nothing. He just looked at me, and I could see something soft, something almost like tears threatening to fall. I took his hand. "I love you, Daddy, and I will take care of you. You don't have to hide anymore." He sat down slowly. For a long moment, silence filled the room. Then he whispered, "Mia, you are my miracle. You are my little hero." I smiled through my tears. "No, Daddy, you are my hero. You always were, and I just want to help now." From that night, things began to shift. We started talking more openly. I learned more about his life, his worries, and his sacrifices. I learned that he had struggled with money for years, trying to hide every problem from me. He had worked 2 jobs at times, just so I could have small joys. A new school notebook, a piece of candy, a warm blanket in winter. I began to understand why he lied. It was not because he wanted to deceive me. It was because he wanted to protect me. He wanted me to believe in happiness. He wanted me to grow up feeling safe and loved, even when life was hard. One Sunday, we sat together after breakfast, the sun streaming through the window. I had cleaned the apartment and made a small loaf of bread. I watched him smile, really smile, for the first time in months. "Daddy," I said softly, "I want to ask you something." He looked at me curiously. "Why did you hide everything from me for so long? The hunger, the tiredness, the worries?" He sighed and took my small hands in his. "Mia, I wanted to be your Superman. I wanted you to believe that life could be happy, even when it was hard. I wanted you to grow up with hope. That is why I lied. And now I see that you are stronger than I ever imagined. You are my little angel, and you have helped me more than I ever thought possible." I felt tears stream down my face. "Daddy, I just wanted you to know that I see you. I see all your hard work, all your sacrifices, all your love. You are my hero, always, and I love you." He hugged me tightly, and I could feel the warmth of his heart against mine. For the first time, we shared the full truth between us. Not just smiles, not just stories, not just lies to protect each other, but the truth. From that day on, we worked together. I learned to cook more. I learned to clean better. I even helped him with small jobs he brought home. I was 10, but I felt grown up. I felt like I could take care of my Superman. Life was still hard. Money was still tight. But the burden felt lighter. We shared it together. We laughed together. We cried together. And every night we whispered, "I love you," and meant it with all our hearts. One evening, I sat by the window, looking at Daddy fixing the old chair. He looked tired, but happy. I realized something very important. Love is not only about smiles. Love is not only about gifts or games. Love is about sacrifice. Love is about carrying each other when life is too heavy. Love is about sharing the pain so that no one carries it alone. I thought about all the lies he told me. At first, I had been sad, angry, and confused. But now I understood. Every lie was a piece of love. Every lie was a shield. And every lie was a choice he made for me. I whispered to myself, "Daddy, I forgive you, and I love you more than anything." He looked up and smiled. "Mia, you have grown so much. I am proud of you." I smiled back. "No, Daddy, we have grown together. We are a team." And we were. That night, we sat together in the small living room, the city lights glowing outside. We did not talk much. We just held hands, and the quiet felt like warmth. I knew that life would still be hard, but I also knew that we could face it together. For the first time, I felt a peace that I had never felt before. Not because everything was perfect, not because we had all the money or all the food, but because we had each other. And that was enough. As I drifted to sleep, I whispered softly to Daddy, "I love you, Daddy, always." He whispered back, "I love you too, Mia, always." And I knew it was true. No lies this time, no hiding, just love. Thank you for listening to my story. If you felt the emotions with me, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cozy English Story, for more heartfelt and heart-shocking stories like this. Hit the like button, leave a comment about your thoughts, and share this story with someone you love. Your support helps me continue sharing real stories of love, sacrifice, and family. Remember, every story has truth behind it, and every heart has a story to tell.